Guys, here's a Banshee Firefly status effect build that I would like to show you. I like to use this on mainly on legendary really, but you can actually use this on heroic missions or in a group doing control points and stuff. Let me just take you through the pieces. Okay, so first of all, in the pieces, I'm running a Vile Exotic Mask. Okay, so this does the talent on this is Toxic Delivery. Status effects also apply damage over time debuff for 10 seconds. Total damage dealt is equal to 50% of your concussion grenade damage and increased by your status effect attributes. Okay, for all of you that don't know, the concussion grenade does a lot of damage, so basically half of that damage. Okay, without the Vile Mask, I would not be able to do damage with my Blinder Firefly and my Banshee Pulse. Okay, so it's important that you do have the Vile Mask on. If you had another high-end yellow piece on, you will not see any numbers coming up from these. I'll show you the shooting range. For my other pieces, I'm running 2-piece Ravenware for the 10% skill damage and 10% status effect. Okay, everything should be rolled skill haste status effect on the build with skill haste gear mods. For the talent on the chest piece, I'm using Trauma. Applies blind to an enemy hit in the head, cooldown 30 seconds, and applies bleed to an enemy hit in the chest, cooldown 30 seconds. Alright, so that's really good. If someone pushes you, you can just hit them in the head and they're blinded. But also you can apply both blind and bleed. And for the backpack, I'm using again, there's a Waverboard backpack. The talent on that is Creeping Death. So when you apply a status effect, it also applied to all enemies within 8 meters of your target. That is how you can spread your status effect. It's not like Eclipse where you kill them and it continues to spread. You do have to wait for the cooldown to be able to do that. And for the rest, and for the other pieces, I'm running 2 improvised pieces with status effect and skill haste. And the good thing about improvise is that you can attach a gear mod onto it. Okay, so I have a skill haste gear mod, and so that's the other improvised. And for the last piece, I have a Golem for the 10% status effect and rolled skill haste status effect. So everything is skill haste status effect because status effect increases the duration of the status. So increases the duration of the blind, increases the duration of the Banshee Pulse. Alright, so this build's really good. So you can actually do multiple status effect on this build. You can do a blind with your gun. Okay, so if you shoot someone in the head and you haven't procced Creeping Death, you can blind a group of enemies, or you can apply a bleed. But you don't want to use the chest talent. You want to use your skills mainly to spread it. So the best thing to do is when you use this build, first of all, you want to first use the blinder. Okay, you don't even need to blind everyone. What I tend to do is I'll try blind one person if they're all together. Then it'll get everyone within that 8-meter radius. Okay, and the duration on this is 15 seconds, and the cooldown is 20. And then the Banshee Pulse this is what you want to use second when you are coming up to enemies. So cooldown 30 seconds and effect duration is 12.6. So it's really good. Okay, even though it seems like the cooldown 20 seconds is long, the duration is pretty long. So when you blind them, obviously they will all be blinded, and by the time the duration of the blind goes down, you Banshee Pulse them. Okay, and that the Banshee Pulse is long enough for you to get your blinder Firefly, so you can keep having one always activated or being used. And by the time the duration on the status is nearly gone, you'll get your other one. All right, so it's you can just keep alternating. That's what's so good about this build. All right, and for my weapons, I'm using the Sitar. Okay, with the talent Eyeless. I like using the Sitar because it's really accurate. You can easily hit some headshots from distance. So deal 20% damage to blinded enemies after 4 kills. Applies blind to the next enemy you hit. Okay, I'm also using the Scorpio just in case I get pushed. Okay, this is like my thing. And also it applies debuff to enemies. So once I proc Creeping Death, I will tend to go to my Scorpio, because the Scorpio will proc Creeping Death and it'll be a waste. So you just want to make sure you watch out for that. But I like to use this gun, the Scorpio, just to debuff enemies so my teammates do some damage onto them. And then on my pistol, I have the card 45 with Perpetuation. Headshot grants 50% status effect damage and duration to the next status effect you apply. Okay, and to be able to get the Banshee Pulse, you actually need it from Gunner. Gunner unlocks the Banshee Pulse. So let me just show you. There you go, that's the Banshee Pulse. Okay, so let me just show you in the shooting range. I'll show you with the Vile Mask and without the Vile Mask. So it's actually really important that you have the Vile Mask on. So you can see you actually can do some damage with this build too, which is really, really nice. Even on reds, it literally takes nearly half their health away. Okay, and then if I do change the Vile Mask, I don't know, to maybe an Empress, you'll see that there is no damage. It's just a status effect. And it lasts pretty long too. Yeah, so make sure you do have the Vile Mask on. Yeah, so that's pretty much the build, guys. I hope you enjoy that. And oh, you also have the foam on the gunner. That's one last thing I forgot to show you. You could proc the Creeping Death with the foam on here. So you do a lot of status effect. You can do foam, you can do bleed, blind, the disorientate, and obviously you can spread the poison out with that one bullet, but it doesn't really do that much. I'll show you. So if I do that, applies to all of them. Still does a lot of damage. You can do a lot of status effect on this build, and then I'll show you on the gun. So when I shoot someone in the head, applies blind, and it's still damaging them. And obviously you do a bit more damage. Yeah, so that's pretty much the build, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. This has been one of my favorite builds for a long time. I used to use this a lot in Legendary with randoms or with friends. But yeah. Anyways, guys, peace.